G'day everyone, welcome back to the Eastern RC channel. We're out here, Lake Plaistow. Once again, there's a bit of wind around, not the best conditions, but we will make it work. This afternoon on the tailgate we have the Blackjack 42. Yesterday we had the Sonic Wake on the water to do a little bit of testing to see how it's running, and today it is the Blackjack's turn. So I just wanted to get it on the water before we do a bit of testing with this in the coming weeks. So with that said, I'll pop her open and we'll have a look inside her. Alrighty, so it's been, like I said, a minute since we've had this in the water. It's not a lot's changed on the boat. From factory, I have replaced the ESC with a ZTW 200 amp 8S ESC. I'm really not a big fan of the Spectrum stuff. Stock motor, nice short wires with 8mm bullets, stock servo, changed out the radio gear to just for Taba like all my other stuff. The biggest trick with these boats, in my opinion, to get them to run nicely, because they are sort of renowned for being very bouncy on the water and blowing over, is some really good quality heavy batteries up the front. Now, from memory, I think this weighs about 2.3 kilos between the 4 batteries. These are CNHL 6000 milliamp 4S 70C batteries. I run 2 on each side in parallel, and then the ESC itself is in series, so that gives us the 8S connection there. But other than that, just stock rudder setup, stock servo setup, prop choice. I am running once again the RC Boat Bits Sonic Wake prop. I find this to be a great bashing prop. And strut setup, you can see my setup there. Slight downward angle on that, just to keep the nose down. Now you can play with that and adjust it a little bit. Very minor adjustments are needed on this boat. A millimeter goes a long way, pretty well like any other boat. I haven't touched anything on this boat. I'm just going to put the batteries in it. I've greased up the shaft. I suppose that's one other thing to mention. I did heat up my strut so I could actually bust that bushing free. So that lets me pull the shaft out in one piece and service the whole thing quite easily. So yeah, that's something, each to their own. I just hate pulling these out, taking the whole assembly off, because then you've got to set it up again, and it's just kind of this way. Once you've got the boat set up, you can leave your setup alone, service the strut, or the shaft rather, put it back in, tighten down your collets, and away you go. Still running the factory collet, factory shaft. This boat has, countless runs on it, and I've had it for a few years now, so it's still running great. Alright, so I am running a new radio, so we'll see how it's going for trim. Pretty rough out there. So I don't mind the ZTW ESC overall, but the soft start feature can be a little bit annoying, especially if you get off the throttle. And if I recall, you can't absolutely disable it. Whoa! So once again, the conditions are just not quite there. So you can see that nose is coming up, but it's not flipping over. Yeah, it's just a bit rough, guys. Something's not sounding quite healthy there. I'm going to bring that back, guys. Well, guys, the plot thickens. The actual mounting of the whole radio system, electronics, is busted free. So that's what's happened here, unfortunately, and I don't think that was necessarily a fault of the the shaft setup or anything. So I think it's just pulled the whole lot forwards. So we'll see if we can get this. Yep, here she comes. So shaft is fine. Yeah, that is the first time I've had that happen. You even did a little bit of damage back here as it's pulled in. Hopefully we're all good here. Okay, that is good news, but I think we might have to go for a new shaft, because that's some solid scoring there now, unfortunately, and I don't think that's going to be healthy for the system. So all right, well, that's what we were down here for, just to check out how it's running. Obviously I'm going to have to do a few little repairs to this, and I'll get in a new flex shaft and whatnot and get her sorted. Alrighty guys, got back to the shop here, and yeah, sure enough, the whole tray had just completely broken free. So completely, not even one bit was stuck to the hull anymore. So I guess just with time, the glues have let go. So I figure this may as well get turned into a how to repair your Blackjack 42 if everything breaks out. So I have noticed that this back tray is also coming loose. Have a look at the underside of this. So pretty straightforward job, guys. We're just going to sand it all down, really rough it up with some 80 or 40 grit, clean everything up with isopropyl alcohol. Got to be careful with alcohol on your ABS hulls. It can sort of turn it brittle, so if you get it on there, just wipe it straight off. Okay, I'll show you the glue we're going to use. So this is a product from West System. It's called G-Flex. It's an epoxy glue, and it is designed for plastics. It's very strong and actually retains a bit of flexibility, which is important because all this is obviously flexible. So if you use just regular epoxy, there's a very good chance it's just going to break free. So it's important that you choose an appropriate glue for the job at hand. So yeah, I'm going to get to sanding on this, guys, and I'll show you the gluing part next. All right, so making pretty quick progress of all this. I ended up just cleaning it a bit first with some alcohol. I just used a scraper tool and ran across the tunnel both ways just to get the bulky bits off. And yeah, just a couple of these. 80 grit is what I'm using here. And that quickly and easily scuffed it and scored it right up. No mercy, not going for anything too pretty here. I just want to get the thing banged back in. As for the underside of the tray, I wasn't going to go too ham with it, but I ended up actually just using an air-powered sander with one of these 80 grits and just quickly went over it. You got to be careful because you don't want to actually melt the plastic. So just scuff it right up. Not too stressed about some of the old glue. If there's any lumps and bumps and all that sort of stuff, you got to get rid of that. This is going to be pretty easy to get back in. There are keyways which slot. A bit hard to show you with no light here, but there are slots running along the side here. I think there's 2 on each side here. So that makes it easy to line up. Fortunately, the actual battery trays themselves are nice and tight. Upon further review here, looks like I am going to have to take the whole lot out because, yeah, she is busted. So that's only just holding on by probably this rubber seal. So I'm going to have to work out how I'm going to get around that. So let me dig into that and find out, because that could be a real spanner in the works. We might just have to potentially just get the gear out and, you know, inject the glues in around it if you want to avoid pulling this out, because these are hard to come by, hard to get waterproof again. So you really want to avoid taking this out at all costs on these boats. So yeah, leave this one with me and I'll let you know what I ended up doing. Well guys, I got everything out, but this rubber seal would have to get cut out to to come free. So I am just going to do it the hack way, and we've got plenty of openings in and around everywhere where we can drizzle our glue through. Just use some, you know, paddle pop sticks and what have you, and just get the glue in beneath all these supports. So I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Yeah, see, we can even get down into there quite easily. The only sad bit is we're not going to be able to rough it up. So yeah, I'm just going to drizzle the stuff in wherever I can, guys, and just hold that down. So really, it's just important that this center part is really held down quite nicely, just so that this doesn't have any movement in it. So yeah, I'm not going to do it right now. It's a job for after this work lot this week, and maybe through the evening we'll get some glue in there, and yeah, fun and games. All right, so it's all set and cured, and the trays are nice and rock solid once more in the boat. So like I said, this water is always taken a little bit of water on. Of course, a little bit's going to come through the hatch. That's normal, but it's always been substantial. So I decided I would pull the strut off. I have to tidy this up anyway, because you know what, I don't even know if that is savable or not. I might have to order a replacement, I think, actually. So anyway, I've got that off and decided to take a look at the condition of the rubber. It seems okay on this side, and I can't seem to lift too much of it up. There's a few bits and pieces, but nothing too crazy. But if I flip this over and move this out of the way, check this out. That is no bueno, and straight down into there. So I think that this is probably, that's just going to peel off, I think, if I really pick at it. So I think I'm just going to glue this sucker back down. I'll probably fill up that cavity with some silicone, pull this brass liner completely out and clean it up a little bit, and inspect the flex liner as well, I suppose. And yeah, try and get this sealed up a bit better, because it's a bit frustrating always having a little bit of water in this boat. We'll see how we go, but yeah, definitely can't leave that like that anyway. So alright guys, I'm filming this post making this video, and yeah, got most of the way through, and somehow I have lost the footage of actually doing the gluing in the boat. Look, it wasn't very exciting anyway, but just to basically explain, as we saw, we had this tray completely out. Everything was out of the back here. It was easy enough just to pull up little bits and pieces here and there, and then just using a paddle pop stick, I would just basically feed it in and just slide the paddle pop in and just mix it all in. We get in all the different little areas, nooks and crannies. Once this back tray was secured and set, only took, I don't know, an hour or two for that glue to be cured enough to work on the front side. I did end up just applying glue all over the bottom of the tray and then just setting that down in one piece. I might have a photo of that, so if I do, I'll pop that in here and you can see what I did. But essentially just the locking pins, or not pins, the locking tabs help guide all this back into place. So look, I just wanted to put that in, guys. Sorry if you wanted to actually see the repair, but it really wasn't that exciting. So yeah, just a quick look at what we're working with here. I did end up going ahead and ordering some new parts. This is the original. I bought this boat back in 21 and it's been perfect up until now. But you can see where the drive dog got pulled in and mushed up the end of that strut. Lots of wear and tear and scoring on the bush, and then we've got the brand spanker as reference. When I put the new bushing on the existing shaft, there's a lot less side-to-side play as well. So this should help tighten up the drive line. Bit of a refreshment. For these three parts, 1, 2, 3 here in Australia, that was $200. Now that is a rip-off, and Proboat, that's just wrong. So, you know, just out of necessity, that's what I wanted to do, and I didn't really feel like going after market on the boat, particularly with the testing we're going to do with this ESC. So we'll go ahead and get all this installed, and yeah, that'll be that. Alrighty, she's all buttoned up, ready to go. Nothing special for now, because I am just doing some testing with the boat, so there's a few wires here and there. Just put a little extension wire on the ESC there, just sealed it up with a bit of silicone. Also got this all stuck back down. I just used a silicone-based adhesive, just a nice little tidy job. I did actually feed the silicone down underneath the flat like I said I would, and then when I passed the shaft back through, I actually put some silicone in underneath here as well, so this should be completely sealed up nicely as well. We've got all the rear end back together, fresh as a daisy, so yeah, I'm really keen to see how this is all going to go. So next video we're going to see this on the water, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Bit of a long-winded one, but it was a bit of an adventure. Alright guys, see you on the water.